Feels like a game show.
Yeah.
Somebody start the counter.
You're the psychiatrist, right?
So what do you think of that? What do you make of that?
All right, I'm going to start and wing it. My son is only 10, so I really can't speak to, a teenager just yet. I know it's right around the corner. I do have a 16-year-old bonus daughter, so that's another segment, another story, another show. But as a hockey coach and a son who plays hockey, one of the things that we stress big time, and I know Jeff will agree with this, and the good Dr. Clint will say, you got to go and have fun. I mean, sports has to be fun, and that's the bottom line. Personally, I've seen bad coaching, and I think to your viewer's question about the testosterone, I think it's we have to win. We have to win every single game, and if we don't win, you guys are going to do laps and things like that. It starts as, not only a parent, but as a coach, to stress to the kids, go out, have fun, but let's learn fundamentals at the same time.
Yeah, I would also add that everything's a teaching moment, but it's also how you speak about the teaching moment. And in any certain situation, how you go about it. If you're always looking like you're preaching to a teenager or anybody younger about what you learned there, what was that all about, then, it becomes a little monotonous. But if you say in the right words, what have you learned there, you're always making a child better. Every time I put my daughter to sleep, she's 8 years old, and I've been doing this since she was 2 years old, is I say, honey, sleep good, wake up better. And ultimately, I want her to sleep good from the day that's happened. We go over the day what's happened and wake up better that she learned more the day before. And I'll say that to her until I don't get to put her to bed anymore. And I think that's important because there's no certain age to start, and there's no certain age to stop. Everything's a learning moment, but it's also that communication, that openness that you have with them.
Oh, I had the opportunity to interview Dr. Anthony Wolf some time ago, a couple of years ago, and he's the author of the book, Get Out of My Life, But First Can You Drive Me and Cheryl to the Mall? Right? It's a great book on adolescence. One of the things that Dr. Wolf taught me was that the reason that teenagers can sometimes be like trying to give a cat a bath is because they first have to shed the image of their baby self. That's how they grow in adolescence. In order for our kids to become the great adults that they will be, they first have to psychologically get rid of the image that they were once a baby. And of course, with that shedding, guess who's attached to the baby self? The parents. And that's when they develop what he calls an allergy to the parents, which causes them to behave in what we would think is unusual ways, but to them it's very normal. And the two things that I think what Dr. Wolf pointed out was that girls begin to become allergic to the parents and shed their image by declaring, drawing lines every day, moment to moment, in your face. Whereas boys begin to separate more, and that's when you find them in their room more often. And then, of course, it becomes awkward for them because they discover their mom's a girl, and they kind of, Mom, don't stand so close to me. It's just weird. So they're saying teenage boys need a lot of structure. One of the things that they need. Girls don't seem to need a whole lot of structure, but boys do. Both parents need to know where he is at all times. Now, I talked about that. I want to throw that out there. I don't know about you, I drive down through my neighborhood, and there's like boys on bikes all over the place. Sometimes they look like they're up to a little bit of mischief, and sometimes they're not. But with that statement that parents should know where they are at all times, what do you think about that?
One of the things I always tell a lot of teenagers within education and within a lot of my speeches is, you're teaching people how to treat you. Every time you go anywhere, whether you're in the streets, whether you're at school, you always have more control than you think you do. Teenagers don't think they have control. They're in this bridge of childhood to adulthood, and you're trying to hold their hand through it and then when to let go of their hand so they don't fall off the bridge. And it's very important, but it's also stressful because it's a touch and go. I want to hold on their hand more. Well, should I let them go? Should I get them to be more responsible? So it's a touch and go, and it's obviously a difficult time for not just the teenager, but the parent as well. So, I think always stressing at a young age, even through teenage years, through adulthood, you're teaching people how to treat you by the way you talk, by the way you walk, by what you dress. You have more control than you think you do. Now, people will be unfair to you at times, but you still have more control than you think you do. I think that's really important for a teenager to understand because they think everyone's being on them, telling them what to do.